I put it into blackjack.
Ah! The classic.
Yeah, I loaded it into blackjack and I was playing $10 hands. I was like, all right, let me hit a couple of these and I'll win it back. So went from 170 back to like 190. And I
Uh-huh.
was like, all right, let me just do a $15 hand and then I'll I was trying to get back to 250. And I lost that and I doubled it and lost again. And I was down to like 130. I doubled it, lost again. I went all the way down to $8. And then I bet the $8, won, doubled it to 16, won again, 32, doubled it again, 64, doubled it again, 128, and then hit and ended up I won 5 or 6 in a row and cashed out for 256. So I was $6 in the profit.
Oh, cigars on you.
Then I withdrew. See ya.
Oh, that's a classic. We've got a date with Rubet down the road. Once we cash out of this market and we've got a lot of extra crypto to play with.
Dude, I figured out the money printer strategy on Roulette.
Oh no! All right, what's this one?
This one, well, it has to do with the Mines game.
Yeah.
Yeah, see,
Yeah, that's my favorite fucking one, bro. I got addicted to that one.
yeah. Well, so you can do it the opposite way, where like instead of having the bombs and then you just pick the squares and you hope that you don't hit it,
Hmm.
you can put it on the other mode where you like pick the squares and then you pick how many bombs, and then you could just keep tapping the button and the bombs just will appear in random squares. And if it doesn't appear in the squares that you selected, then you win. But you can put in like custom bets and everything. So the strategy that I saw, it's similar to what the strategy we talked about on roulette before, where like the martingale strategy that we got fucked on.
Rinsed.
Yeah, bad.
Rinsed.
But this one, instead of doubling the bet because the payout on the selection pays more than twice your money, you do there's a certain setup for it. It's like 16 mines, you select just the box in the middle, and then every time the bet doesn't hit, it automatically increases the bet by, I think the number is 123%.
Hmm.
And then you just put it on auto bet. So you can just put it on like 1,000 bets auto, and it'll just keep popping up and it'll just keep increasing your bet 123% until it hits. And it's like I was doing the math on it last night. I was talking to Chat GPT, and
Dangerous.
it's it's a printer
It's a
for sure.
winner.
And the minimum bet's a penny. So it's like you can have so many increases. It just depends on how greedy you want to be.
Hmm.
But eventually you do want to take profit before you get rinsed.
Chat
But
GPT told us we had what, like a 2 or 3% chance of losing 7 or 8 in a row.
yeah, yeah, it was like less than a 2% chance, yeah, of losing. I think it was 8 or 9 in a row.
And then we
But
got smoked. Did we figure out how they did it? Because are we on Ryan Truck? Ryan, they can't find the new stream. Somebody just commented on the live stream that exploded. Are we on? Ryan, I hope you find us. Yeah, that's the worst. Streamlabs blew up on the first streams. Then when you end it, it shows that we went live for 30 seconds, and then I have to start a whole new one, which is in a completely different video. So people have to come back to the channel and find it. Which boohoo, guys. If you can't figure that out, then damn, probably shouldn't be investing in shit coins.
yeah.
But
Well, I think the issue we ran into before was we were betting on 2 out of the 3 lines, and whenever we were doubling, it wasn't
covering
giving,
the losses.
yeah, it wasn't getting money back because the doubles weren't paying enough. But then once we started betting one,
And we
then
started
that
covering.
was, yeah, that was fun because then you'd be making profits. And that's similar to what this is. It's like whenever it builds up after missing a few, that's when you start cashing.
Right.
So it's like you want to miss 6, 7, 8, and then let it smack.
That's what was happening. Yeah, on the roulette, we're hype. Oh, it missed. Double it. Double it. Misses again. Double it. And then you crack, and then you up a couple hunch. Couple.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there will be signs. That's the thing. There will be signs. Once you see us start streaming Roulette, gentlemen, just know that that means we cashed out. Okay. If you guys are looking for the signs that is the bull run over, did we make it? Did we make it? And you guys aren't inside the Taylor's code, which is a massive mistake if you're not. So you don't find out whenever we sell. As soon as we start doing martingale on mines, Bull runs over it. It's done. It's over. Naeem. Oh, look at that. Naeem was sleeping on Saturday. Did you hear about
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. Was he is there a um
But that was my fault. It's my fault, Naeem. I gave you a shit last time because you fucked up, Naeem, but this time it was me. I didn't schedule the stream ahead of time because I was busy in the trenches building out the Discord and trying to set up the... Ooh, I just told everybody live what we're doing. Building out the Discord. We got some of the gentlemen that are already inside the school. Moved over to the Discord. I was building out the website for the landing page as well. And just completely just forgot to schedule the streams, Naeem. So that's on me, player. He said, yes, bro. But yeah, Naeem was sleeping on Saturday. He's usually on the streams, loud as fuck, hyping me up. Oh, the best DJ ever. No Naeem this Saturday. It was weird, Naeem. Anyways, we're here to talk about markets, right?
suppose.
I suppose so. Let's take a look at a couple of charts, gentlemen. So let's get a quick update from last time. So last time we met was Thursday. What big things have happened since Thursday? Pretty much nothing. Bitcoin hasn't done shit. I'm trying to think of any news announcements that were meaningful. Yeah, go ahead.
Trump announced, I mean, the only thing I know about is I saw on Reuters, Trump announced today, actually, there's going to be 25% tariffs put into place for aluminum and steel imports, which I sent it over to my dad because my dad actually, his commission and his sales. What?
Hold on. No, I have to say it. We just had that was the first time I saw a live notification on the stream. We got a subscriber. Boom. Who is that? I'll give him a shout out. Who was that? Chai Tat Ratan Napakdi.
That's his username?
That's his username on YouTube. Hey, Chai Tat Ratan. That's probably Bhuvnesh's cousin. Bhuvnesh, tell your cousin we're excited for him to subscribe to the channel.
That's probably the right pronunciation.
Yeah, I'm sure I said that perfectly. Yeah. Chai Tat Ratanapakdi. Savage. What a hero. It's either Bhuvnesh's or Naeem's boy. All right. So what are you saying? The tariffs, right? 25%?
Yeah, which I told my dad about it over the weekend because his commission and his sales position is entirely determined by the price of steel. Because it's like they'll quote people. They're usually like 10 to 15 weeks out on business. And so they'll quote people the price to manufacture, what they manufacture. And then by the time the stuff's actually getting manufactured 10 to 15 weeks later, if the price of steel since then has come way down, they can manufacture it for way less than what they quoted, but they don't have to adjust the price. So then their margins are way bigger. So I told my dad over the weekend, I said, hey, Trump just announced 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum. So, yeah, I mean, this one seems a little bit more controlled, though. It's not having as much of an impact on the markets. It's not initiating or, insinuating that there's going to be a trade war. So should be in the clear on that. But, yeah, it's really the only news that I saw over the weekend. The halftime show is fucking dog shit.
Oh, yeah, terrible. Yeah, what's his face? Kendrick came out, did his Drizzy Drake diss song too.
Kendrick Latard.
Yeah, Kendrick.
No.
Almost dropped one. But yeah, Kendrick bummed hard. The Super Bowl is terrible. I mean, the game was good. I like the game because the Eagles were cooking, and I thought that was great. So I enjoyed that. But yeah, halftime show was terrible. Now, the good thing about the tariffs that I'll mention this before we jump into the charts. Well, don't worry, gentlemen. We're jumping in the charts. We got a new subscriber, Chai Tat, so we got to make sure we give him the juice. So the tariffs thing, what's good about that is he announced that it's in place for today. The markets didn't puke on it, so that means we're digesting that information a lot better. So in the future, whenever we get more news like that, because Trump's not going to be chilling on the tariffs, it's going to be a thing that he'll continue to do throughout the entire presidency. We shouldn't get that type of reaction anymore, which is good. We got it out of our system. Now people aren't freaking out anymore as soon as he announces that. Good. I like that. So let's do a little Mr. Producer. I'm going to show, I do want to update this one chart. So we'll update the BTC NVIDIA pair because I want to show guys where we're at with the cycle and just switch it up a little bit. NVIDIA Court, where we at? NVIDIA. There
Yeah,
it
I
is.
know you mentioned the while you're pulling that up, you mentioned the Eagles, how well they were playing yesterday. It's crazy to realize the ages of some of these guys. Like,
Right.
dude, Cooper DeJean, who was the one that had that pick six,
Mm-hmm.
that really was kind of the turning point of the game. It took him from being up 10-0 to 17-0 in the
Mm-hmm.
first half. It's like, dude, he's 22 years old.
Yeah,
It's like,
that's nuts.
it's yeah, he's a rookie. It's like I looked it up. It says his net worth currently is a little bit over 10 mil.
Not
It's like
bad.
at 22 years old, it's crazy. So, I mean, I know a lot of the people that watch this stream are younger guys, and it's like, don't be constantly comparing yourself just to the people that are within your bubble, thinking that, you're further along or further behind just based off of this, standard that you create for yourself based off your environment and the people in your immediate connection or in your immediate network. It's like realize that there's plenty of people. I mean, he's not a one-off. It's not like he's an anomaly. There's plenty of young people, not just in sports, but in all kinds of careers. I mean, think about crypto specifically. I mean, there's how many kids that are probably under the age of 18 even that are millionaires off of crypto. Um, so yeah, just keep thinking bigger. I mean, I saw that and just seeing the amount of stress and stuff that these people can perform under at such a young age that, they just have built it up over time. So yeah, it's sick to see.
Absolutely. Yeah, 100%. You can't get stuck in the mindset that you should only make a certain type of money, right? No, you can make as much money as you can imagine you want to make. You just got to figure out how the fuck you're going to do it. But until you believe you can do it, you're never going to try. So, crypto, this is one of the ways that you can do so. For sure. I mean, genuinely, especially as a young individual or somebody across the world where you don't have access to the same opportunities as a country like the US, crypto is your opportunity. This is it right here. This is motherfucker. Non-discriminatory.
There you
Okay.
go.
Yeah, there we go. So it doesn't matter what your age is, doesn't matter what your race is, doesn't matter your gender, doesn't matter what your religious beliefs are. Crypto is an environment where anybody can take advantage of the situation and make money, as long as you're smart and you're intelligent about the way that you do these things. And this is why you have guys like us. They're going to help you navigate these markets so you can actually be profitable. So let's get an update on this Bitcoin Nvidia chart. So a lot of people right now, we're in an odd situation because after the nuke that we had on altcoins and Ethereum, most people in the, let's call it in the market, more bearish right now than bullish. Okay. So why are people bearish? Well, altcoins and Ethereum, especially, obviously, have gone through a mini bear market since December. They've been getting destroyed, drawn back about 80, 70, 80%. And so people are saying, well, that's probably an indicator as to what's going to happen with Bitcoin. If we drew back 70 to 80% on altcoins, then we must be waiting to draw back on Bitcoin as well and start breaking down and go into a bear market. That's where I disagree. At no point have altcoins ever led or decided what Bitcoin was going to do. It's always been the opposite since the beginning of time. Bitcoin is the alpha asset. What Bitcoin does will create the environment for the rest of the market. So if Bitcoin takes another leg higher, guess what? Altcoins are going to come back from the dead. They're all going to start pumping again and catch back up with Bitcoin and have this massive mean reversion. So until we see Bitcoin top out, I think you've Mr. Producered wrong. No way. Hold on, bruv. Am I fucking... What is going on here? Hilarious. This is outrageous. I've never seen Streamlabs fold so hard in my life. Hold on.
Is it not sharing your screen?
Yeah. All he just said, I think you've Mr. Producered wrong. No, it's Streamlabs. I'm blaming the tech. All right. So I'm doing my whole screen here. You can see my trading view, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So they should be able to see it now on the screen. So anyways, the point is until Bitcoin tops, the cycle's not over. It's all based upon Bitcoin. So let's take a look here. Bitcoin versus Nvidia. We use this chart as confluence to see whenever Bitcoin tops out. So Nvidia is typically the leader in equity markets. It's been the leader. It's been the alpha asset. So whenever Nvidia starts to underperform against Bitcoin, this chart will pump, okay? So as this chart pumps, Bitcoin is outperforming Nvidia, and you see when we get these massive blow-off tops on this Bitcoin-Nvidia pair, this calls perfectly the tops on Bitcoin cycles. So let me show you guys how that works. So let's put Bitcoin underneath, right? I want this pair right here. Okay. So we get Bitcoin underneath. Bomba clot.
It always puts it like this.
Yes, bruv. I just had it. Oh my goodness. Hold on. Okay. Thank you. So now, can I open this up? No, that's the RSI. Guys, today,
You just gotta add the paint again.
yeah, this is incredible. What a day to show off for Chai Tat. Chai Tat. This is not typical performance here. Chai Tat, don't base the quality of our.
Is he watching?
I think Chai Tat's here. Chai Tat, you still here? Put it in the chat. You subscribe to us live on stream. I need to know if you're watching this.
Yeah, let's at least find out if he's here.
Yeah, let's at least know if we're actually putting on a show for Chai Tat. All right. So here's the chart for Bitcoin. All right. So Bitcoin over the last few cycles, this NVIDIA and Bitcoin pair has called tops perfectly. Okay. So let's just take a look at this. So last cycle, we had the top in 2017 right here. Well, would you look at that? On the NVIDIA Bitcoin pair, we had this top. Okay. So Bitcoin greatly outperforms NVIDIA. We get this top on Bitcoin. Fantastic. 2019, we get this local top on Bitcoin. Guess what happens? Oh, what a surprise. Bitcoin NVIDIA pair gets a blow off top. Next blow off top on Bitcoin NVIDIA calls the local top on Bitcoin in 2021, right? The first top in March. Okay, next one. Boom. Calls this local top. Okay. So what have we done ever since then? Well, in between, Bitcoin greatly gets outperformed by NVIDIA. So then NVIDIA starts to go on a ripper again because equity markets, the way that markets work, they typically lid risk assets. So the alphas are the least volatile, most invested in assets. Once companies like NVIDIA, which are the premier stocks in the stock market, start to top out, there's no more upside in the eyes of investors, okay? There's no more upside in the eyes of investors. What they start to do is they rotate capital further along the risk curve. So they start coming down that risk curve. So you see NVIDIA's gains start to wane. And as they start rotating down into things like IWM and into things like Bitcoin and Ethereum, you start to see Bitcoin and Ethereum outperform things like NVIDIA. That's how you know you're getting towards the end of a cycle because people are moving further along down the risk curve. So what do we look at here? Well, clearly, we have not had any resemblance of a blow-off top on this Bitcoin NVIDIA pair for this cycle. So right now, Bitcoin's in price discovery. We've been ranging up in here between 92 and 100 and about $506,000. People are worried about, oh, are we topped on Bitcoin? Is it over? Are we still going to get an alt season, etc.? Well, I mean, I don't know if this looks like a blow-off top to any of you guys, but it doesn't look like it to me. So at no point has Bitcoin at all this cycle outperformed NVIDIA. Not at all. Nothing. It's just been perpetual downtrend for the past 4 years. So again, this is an indicator that we use that not everybody actually watches that says, well, we're still waiting for this blow off top. I mean, we've had it very clearly in every cycle on a top on Bitcoin, right? So why would we not see another one in this portion of the cycle? Well, yeah, we will. So equities are still performing nicely and they're still moving up right now. Bitcoin or crypto is just lagging equity markets. So this gives me confidence. Okay, well, if equities aren't done ripping yet, NVIDIA is not done outperforming yet, that's fine. The time for crypto is coming. We just need to make sure we're positioned for it because whenever Bitcoin does start to see this parabolic move on this BTC NVIDIA pair, then we can start to say, okay, BTC is probably topping out. And then typically about a month after BTC tops out and starts distributing, that's whenever you see alt season. Because when Bitcoin's distributing for the next 5 to 6 weeks, that's when altcoins are benefiting from all that liquidity flowing into the altcoins because you're seeing people take profits out of Bitcoin into altcoins. That's when you get your alt season, and that's what we're waiting for. So any thoughts on that, Bees?
Well, something I think is going to be good to look at. I'm be kind of curious to see what you think of it. If you want to, if you want to do it on a new tab, just you can kind of compare this. But if you can put the Bitcoin dominance chart on the top
Uh-huh.
and then the ETH BTC pair on the bottom.
Got you. So let me just do this. Okay, so on top you want Bitcoin dominance.
Yeah, Bitcoin dominance on the top.
Okay.
And then on the bottom, the ETH BTC pair.
Bombaclat. Okay. ETH BTC, is it giving it to me?
There she is.
There we go. Okay.
I don't know why it makes it lines by default every time.
Goofy.
So I was looking at this. I know we talked about we looked at the Bitcoin dominance chart last week, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So I was looking at it over the weekend and I was looking back in like March of 2021.
Mm-hmm.
You can see, or maybe it was a little bit earlier than that, may have been even been like December. Mm, that blow off top on the Bitcoin dominance.
Mm-hmm. Over here.
Yeah, the first time that it happened though, before it just absolutely jumped off a cliff back in like 2020, 2021.
Okay, right here.
When was that? So it was December 2020.
Yep.
So I was looking at that wick up at the top there,
Mm-hmm.
um, just kind of comparing it to what we're seeing right now. And it just looks very, very similar
I see what you're saying.
to me.
Ah.
Um, because I mean the timing is fairly close. I mean that was in the very end of December, beginning of January of last cycle. Now we're a couple months further ahead, but I also think there's been obviously some catalysts that weren't involved last cycle, like with Trump getting inaugurated, and then all of the uncertainty moving into the inauguration, and then with him getting into office. I think it's just been a little bit different. Like there's been way more focus on crypto and a lot more people paying attention to what Trump's saying versus before. Like the president elect, I mean, no one gave a fuck what Biden had to say about
Right.
anything, but especially not with crypto. So I don't think it was really playing as much of a part. Well, it definitely wasn't playing as much of a part in the cycle performance.
Right.
But to me, that looked very, very similar. Um, I'm surprised, honestly. I know we had that little kind of mini alt season back in like November, December of 2024,
Mm-hmm.
and Bitcoin dominance was starting to bleed, but then it recovered. And to me, it looks like I mean, it may this week refill a little bit of that wick.
Mm-hmm.
But personally, I don't think that, especially with the timing, I mean, we're almost perfectly into alt season. Like this is the time we've been wanting everything to happen. I don't think that we're going to see Bitcoin dominance move much further above, if it even does move back above that wick. And then on the ETH BTC chart, we're kind of getting the opposite move to the downside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you've already drawn it out. So back at that same time, we had kind of this bottoming wick on the ETH BTC pair, which I mean, this shit's been bleeding for so long. And yeah, I mean, we
It
talked
lined up
about it.
perfectly. The
Yeah.
wick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're seeing on these two charts the almost the exact same thing that we saw last cycle. Um,
Yes.
so I know that you were just comparing the Bitcoin Nvidia chart, which I mean, I do think that we're still going to need Bitcoin to continue to perform strongly, but I think we're definitely going to need a lot of that liquidity and that money to flow downstream into Ethereum, into altcoins. And these two charts are telling me that that's going to happen.
Right.
I know we were talked about it a little bit over or off stream, but we were talking about the catch up trade that's going to be coming and the repricing that's going to be coming for Ethereum. Because the last time that Ethereum was at this price, Bitcoin was at, we talked about it, I think about 50,000.
Half the price. Yep.
Yeah. So it's like Bitcoin's $100,000 now when Ethereum's the same price that it was back when Bitcoin was 50,000. It's like, did Ethereum really become 50% less valuable as an asset relative to Bitcoin in 3 months? Probably 3, 4 months. Probably not. Definitely not. So the repricing is going to come. These charts are telling me that it's going to come very soon,
Mm-hmm.
in my opinion. And yeah, I just wanted to kind of get your thoughts on this and, or at least, make you aware of it. Cause I was looking, I was like, yeah, this.
I didn't see that. That's a great observation because you're right. It looks the same. So you get this. So basically, what Logan's talking about. So we drew it out right here. Right before you get alt season, there's two indicators for alt season, which is what we're essentially positioning for. There's ETH BTC pair, which is on the bottom, which is whenever Ethereum starts to outperform Bitcoin, meaning that Ethereum and Ethereum beta is a better hold than Bitcoin. This is essentially an alt season indicator. Same thing with Bitcoin market cap dominance. So as Bitcoin starts to lose percentage market share on the entire crypto asset class, that means altcoins are gaining more market cap in comparison to Bitcoin, meaning that alt season. Alts are outperforming Bitcoin. So these are two indicators. So these are essentially inverse charts because if Bitcoin's losing market cap dominance, well, that means things like Ethereum and other altcoins must be gaining shares, which means they're outperforming. So they're essentially inverse charts. So we get this last blow off top in dominance in December of 2020. And then we had the massive bull run in 2021. Makes sense. And then you see this last capitulatory wick on ETH BTC. Everybody thinks ETH is a piece of shit. It's not doing anything, etc. Then you see, Bitcoin nuke, and then ETH BTC does what? Starts pumping. And this is when you're making a shit ton of money off of alts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I mean, it had outperformed it for an entire year.
Exactly. Yep.
It's like we had a full entire year after, not seeing that at all. All of a sudden, ETH starts outperforming it. It bottoms out, and then we get a full year of ETH outperformance. And I know that we've talked a lot about Ethereum not even going into price discovery yet this cycle, being a main point of conviction that the bull run's not over, that alt season hasn't happened yet.
Right.
But it's like when you look at 2024, we had the mini alt season in February, March, and then we had another one again in like November, December. We were getting 10 to 15x moves on the like Andy and Wolf during those periods of time. We had in February of 2024, we had a 10x move on Pepe.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like we were getting these moves out of altcoins that were on the Ethereum network. And if you look at the chart here, ETH never even outperformed Bitcoin. It's like, yeah, there's a couple green weeks there where Ethereum had decent performance against Bitcoin. But, the overarching message that's shown by this chart is Ethereum never outperformed Bitcoin. It still hasn't. I mean, you could have shorted Ethereum against Bitcoin, 2-3 years ago and just printed. So it hasn't changed structure yet, which is the whole driver of a true alt season and of true ETH season. But I think I haven't compared them, but I think another good thing to look at here too is if you want to replace the ETH BTC chart with others,
Mm-hmm.
with others dominance, excluding, do I the one that I think there's one of them that's like excluding the top 10, right?
Okay. Yeah. I should have that. I'll just pull it up. So we'll do others, dominance, and then excluding top 10 right here.
Yep.
Okay.
Just to see if we can see this bottoming out really similar to. Yeah, so it's got the same fucking wick as 2021, 2020, 2021.
This one right here. Oh yeah, it bottomed out exactly at the same time as Bitcoin dominance topped out. Look at that. Insane confluence.
Yeah, and it's like if you move that black line just slightly, just so you can see the wick on the bottom of the others dominance chart.
Mm-hmm. Which one are you talking about? This one right here?
Yeah, that one right there. And comparing it to the wick we just saw for this past weekly candle.
Talking about those two, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's a bit. It looks the same because you get this last whoosh. So you get this final shakeout on altcoins that we just experienced. So this was a very similar shakeout actually even more aggressive than this one that we just saw on altcoins. So think about that. You get this final shakeout on altcoins, they get decimated right before the massive bull run,
Mhm.
right before the massive whoosh on Bitcoin dominance. So look, this is what we just experienced. Yeah, look, exactly perfect. Because in December is pretty much where we topped out on altcoins, beginning of December. This was where we kind of topped out at locally. And this was in, March, which makes sense because that was last ripper for alts. So we basically top out in December. We get nuked these last couple months. In theory, if we're doing a similar move here, oh shit, boys. We're about to get this move right here. This move up here, we're about to get this move right here. It looks good, Harry. I like what I'm seeing.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I think too that, others' dominance, it showed, through November, December, January, February of 2023 into 2024. So like that mini alt season that we had at the beginning of last year.
Yep.
You can see the clear increase in, alt performance. And during that period of time, Ethereum was still getting significantly outperformed by Bitcoin.
Yep.
Like we just looked at the ETH BTC chart and it never broke structure. Like there was never an extended period of time, more than 1 or 2 weeks, where Ethereum was actually outperforming Bitcoin. So, excuse me. So that chart tells me that, altcoins, I mean, yeah, what's that? 70, 80%.
Look at that. While Bitcoin is still increasing in market share. So this is not even alt season when you see alts get 75% market share outside the top 10.
Yeah. So alts are showing that they can still have strength even without their main driver.
Right.
The horse that their wagon is connected to, which is Ethereum. So once you have all things flowing together, you have Bitcoin still performing strongly, but losing dominance overall and getting outperformed by Ethereum. You have altcoins that are continuing to gain market share as the wealth effect flows downhill from Bitcoin into Ethereum into altcoins. And you see, the ETH BTC chart bottoming out.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen what kind of moves altcoins can do without Ethereum performing well. Once they have Ethereum on their side too, it's GG's. And from where the Bitcoin dominance chart's at and where the ETH BTC chart that we just looked at is at, I mean, and where Ethereum is priced at now relative to Bitcoin compared to where it was back in August 5th of 2024. Yeah, I mean, to me, I think it's just going to take, there's going to be, ETH needs some bullish catalyst to change the sentiment. Cause I mean, we're all aware that ETH, the sentiment around it right now is absolutely fucking terrible.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to take something. I mean, Bitcoin, it's performed well. Countries are announcing that there's going to be Bitcoin reserves. The US announced they're going to have a federal Bitcoin reserve. There's plenty of bullish sentiment around it, and it's held its own very well even through these significant pullbacks. Ethereum pulled back 30 points or 30% from the range that it was in, where Bitcoin somehow managed to stay in the range it's been trading. So Bitcoin's shown significant strength. We just need something to shift this sentiment on ETH. And I mean, I thought that maybe Trump's company buying as much of it as they did would kind of shift the tides a little bit, but there's just been something is working against it. So
right. And that something is bullish because, in my opinion, it's got to be the big players accumulating because they understand what's about to come on Ethereum. There's nothing that you can say to me that's going to convince me that these elites, these individuals with billions of dollars of liquidity that are accumulating Ethereum are making the wrong decisions. They're the ones who do decide how markets are moved. So whenever they're all accumulating this asset, while all the sentiment is terrible, everybody's selling, everybody's trying to get off of Ethereum, everybody's shorting Ethereum, etc. The trade on Ethereum short is completely overcrowded. Everybody's going short on Ethereum. Everybody's saying Ethereum's dead. But do we forget that Ethereum's the second largest crypto in the entire world? You think it's just not going to get some kind of outperformance at some point once people start taking profits out of Bitcoin? You don't think that's going to happen? Of course it's going to happen. And so you see how altcoins performed last year, right? From June 23 to March 24 when we had that first big run up on altcoins as Bitcoin is gaining market share. So how aggressive, do you have any idea how aggressive this move to the upside is going to be once you actually get that? You're not going to see this type of alt season. People printed here. That was a printer. It was last March and last May in 2024. People printed on altcoins. Okay. Mm-hmm. They did. This shit went parabolic. We saw Brett run from about $200 or $300 million market cap up to about $2 billion. We saw Pepe run from, $200 million market cap up to a couple billion. No, higher, right?
Well, Pepe did a 10x that February.
10x. Yeah.
Just in February.
Just in February, it did a 10x.
So leading up to that point, it did a hell of a lot more.
Yep. So alts went on absolute rippers. You're not going to get this type of move over here. You're going to get something more like this, where this is the bottom way down here, and you get a move like this, where you're doing multiples off the low, right? We did a 75% move. You're going to do something more like a 3.5x.
Yeah, and I mean, if you look at the Bitcoin dominance chart too, the last time we had a wick this size, because it's like these candles are significant data. It's not like this is a 4-hour or 1-hour chart where it's just all over the place. It's like these are weekly closes. And I mean, dude, if you go back, I haven't even looked at it, but if you go back to the previous cycle on Bitcoin dominance, like before 2021, yeah, look at the fucking wick before it puked.
Yep.
Both times.
Yeah, so the cycle before 2021, so 2017, yeah. So you get boom, and then this wick right here.
Oops. Candle is insane.
Yeah, right here. Altcoins were pumping right here. Yeah, so while it's coming down. And then you get this puke right over here, and that's where you see altcoins again topping out. Yeah, it's confluent. So we've had these pukes 2 cycles in a row, right? Massive pukes, altcoins pump. Massive puke right here, altcoins pump. But a lot of you watching this, if you were here last year, experienced this pump on alts, and that's why you're hype and excited about crypto. That was nothing, bro. That was nothing. We're waiting for this move. Okay, we want this one off the lows from December of 2020, and you get that blow off top in May. Yep, whenever Dogecoin went to $80-90 billion market cap. Then you get that second blow off top later in the year, right here in January 22, which is more so December 21 is whenever a lot of those topped out, those coins, right? We haven't even come to new all-time highs. Altcoins, with how many that there are right now, and with how high the market share is going to go, this chart will reach new all-time highs, right? I'm in the camp that this will reach new all-time highs. So if we're going to reach new all-time highs, because we're still at a uptrend, so look. So if you want to take it from the low over here, even you could take it from down here. You could say that this is an uptrend like that, and we got to reclaim that. Or you could draw it like this. Regardless of how you want to draw it, it's in an uptrend, right? So it's still on this trend line. Eventually, this is going to do something like this. And go to new all-time highs, right? Similar to what we did here. You see we come down to the capitulatory low. You grind up. You get this one last puke right before the bull run starts. This is where we're at right now, right? We get this one last puke. One last puke, everybody thinks it's over. Altcoins just drew down 70%, 80%, happened the same exact way last bull run. Bang, bang. Same thing happens here. Come back, one last puke. We think it's over. We drew down 70, 80%. Bang, bang. Come up. It's going to happen. I mean, it looks good. It all looks good. Whenever you zoom out and you take a look at how things played out in previous cycles, it all looks good. It's not over. People are losing their minds for no reason and capitulating at the very bottom when in reality you're loading up for the best part of the cycle. It's about to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, that wick, I don't know, man, that wick on Bitcoin dominance, it's just the only time you see a wick like that in the past is it just pukes. So,
Yes.
and yeah, I mean, I know that you were comparing the Bitcoin Nvidia charts, and it's like for anyone that's watching, it's like just because Bitcoin dominance starts going down doesn't mean that Bitcoin starts going down too. It just means that Ethereum and altcoins are sucking up more market cap. So, Bitcoin still, I would love to still see it perform well. I mean, I know that we talked about targets a little bit, a couple streams ago where we had shown the fib on Bitcoin. I know one time we showed it around 130, another time around 170. So, I definitely still want to see Bitcoin get definitely above 130, here over the next few weeks. But, if Bitcoin goes to 130 over the next few weeks and Ethereum goes back into like, 45, 48, 5,000, 6,000, that chart's not going to be going up. It's going to be going down, even though Bitcoin's, still going up. So
Exactly.
yeah, to me, that looks like a blow off top and we're ready to come lower on dominance. And to me, I mean, the others dominance chart that was there looks very similar to how it did in 2021 with the bleed into the reversal and the fucking ripper. So,
And let's take a look at this just to give you guys some context in terms of how the Ethereum beta has been playing, right? So now we take a look and we say, all right, so we're waiting for this actual alt season to play out. Bitcoin dominance hasn't nuked yet. Well, how have the boys club, Pepe, Brett, Andy, Wolf, performed in an environment where they've never been in favorable? They haven't been in a favorable environment yet. They haven't been in an environment where Ethereum has been outperforming Bitcoin, and these beta plays to Ethereum are pumping as hard as they could be pumping. They've only ever existed in an environment where Bitcoin is outperforming Ethereum. So let's pull up ETH-BTC. Okay. And I want to be able to pull this on a new pane. Will it let me? Bang. Look at that. Professional. So get this one out of here. How do I get that out of here? Delete that. Bang. Look at that. Okay. So here's Pepe compared to ETH-BTC. All right. On the same time frame. So when Pepe was first launched back in April 23. Okay. So during the bear market. Look at what Ethereum divided by Bitcoin has done. It's only gone down. Okay. It's been in a perpetual downtrend. What has Pepe done since it was launched? Well, it's only been in an uptrend. Okay. So yeah, we got this drawdown. This one hurts. Oh, it's over. But technically it's still in an uptrend, right? That's an uptrend. Okay. Don't get it twisted. It's an uptrend. So if you take a look at a chart like this, eventually it's going to do what? It bounces and it goes back up. Okay. So you get these periods of outperformance and periods of down performance, and you get a period of upperformance, come back down, and then you go back up. Okay. So what do you think is going to happen to Pepe and the boys club whenever this chart down below actually starts pumping? This is all we need to be able to make the thesis that we've had since the beginning play out, and play out to the degree that we know it can play out. This right here, where Ethereum starts actually pumping, this ETH-BTC chart, when it actually starts pumping and outperforming Bitcoin, this is whenever you get the ridiculous price targets on Pepe. This is whenever you get Pepe to $120 billion market cap, which is from here, 10x, 15x on Pepe. That's whenever you get those things to happen. We've never been in an environment where Pepe, Brett, Andy, or Wolf had any favorable conditions for Ethereum. We've strictly just been tethered to Ethereum not outperforming Bitcoin. That's all you need. You get ETH to outperform Bitcoin, all these coins are pumping 10, 15. We've done 10, 15, 20, 30x on Andy and Wolf before ETH-BTC ever pumped. On Pepe, obviously, if you got in from whenever it first came out, I mean, you're up tens of thousands of X's. But let's just say from, before the 10x run up on Pepe in February of 24, Pepe has done 10, 15x rippers to billions of dollars of market cap when ETH BTC is bleeding, dying, not outperforming Bitcoin. All we need is one alt season, one real alt season where you get this outperformance. Shit's going, you can't even fathom how hard it's going to pump because it's never been in an environment where it could pump that hard.
Yeah, I mean, this is showing data from since what? Since you said April of 2023.
Yep.
Yeah, so
Nothing
it's
but
like
down.
this is 2 years of data on weekly candles, and we've never had more than 2 weeks, never more than two green candles on this chart.
Yep.
There's never been a break in structure. It's just been a downtrend for 2 years straight. And we've never had more than two green candles in a row. So no more than 2 weeks of ETH performing better than Bitcoin in a row in 2 years. And yeah, Pepe still managed to go up thousands and thousands of percent since it launched.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, this is why last year in 2024, I know I had kind of mentioned to you with the way that it was performing. We had the mini alt season at the beginning of the year, like March, April, May. Then we had another mini alt season like November, December 2024. And I remember saying to you, I'm like, damn, this seems really similar to 2021. Maybe this was the cycle we had, because the same thing happened in 2021. Beginning of the year, there was an alt season, topped off in May, pulled back through the summer, and then had the final blow off top in like December of 2021.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason I know that we didn't have the true alt season cycle in 2024 is because in 21, ETH BTC chart completely shifted structure. Ethereum was actually outperforming Bitcoin for the entire year of 2021. Bitcoin dominance bled for an entire year. Others' dominance skyrocketed for the entire year. So none of those indicators have shifted structure yet. ETH still getting rocked by Bitcoin. Bitcoin dominance is still going up. Others' dominance is bleeding. It's like none of the indicators have moved in the favor of Ethereum, and they didn't last year either, or in the favor of altcoins. So it's like all the performance anyone's gotten out of their coins so far has been in terrible conditions. So yeah, I mean, that's why I just don't think any of the price targets that we talk about, like, you can't really moon boy the numbers, because it's like everything we saw last year was with the complete opposite of desirable conditions. So
Exactly. And I just thought of a great thing that we can show quickly here too before we end this. By the way, Nabes said, "Sup, ladies." Nabes, I don't know who the hell you're talking about. Who you talking to?
Named out of right field.
Yeah, out of right field. Shows up out of nowhere. Sup, ladies. Nabes, I can assure you the ladies are not watching us chart Pepe, a frog beam, right now.
I got enough tea flowing through me for this entire audience.
Right, yeah. Any ladies that are watch the stream too long turn into men. There's the testosterone's coming through on the stream. So let's look at Doge. Hold on.
Doge.
So I just want to show people some context for Doge. We can even look at market cap. That'll work just fine. Look at what Doge was last bull run. So we were talking about how last bull run ETH BTC bottomed in December of 2020, and Bitcoin dominance topped at December 2020. Look at this. Look at what the market cap of Doge was in December of 2020. Look at this. People are going to lose their minds. This is what you don't understand about what alt season is going to look like. Doge in December of 2020 was a $1 billion market cap. Okay. So Pepe right now is higher than that in the same context of the cycle. We can even go to January 21, $1.1 billion market cap. Okay. Bitcoin dominance starts to shift.
Well, then look what happened too. Like, show the weekly candles there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, there you go. Look at whoa.
We can do it off a log. I was trying to log it up. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so look at what happened though through January and February. It pumped up. So obviously Dogecoin bloomed a little bit later than Pepe did. Pepe got the Coinbase listing a little bit earlier and had that significant move. But if you scroll up a little bit, look at what Pepe ran up to before it pulled back. So it ran up to
This is
what, 12
Doge.
or Doge? Yeah, so it ran up to what, 12 or 13 billion,
Yes.
which is the exact same level that Pepe ran up to before this pullback. Pepe was literally at 13 billion, and then what? Dogecoin's pulled back to what, 5 bill
Yeah. Look,
at a 60%.
60% pullback.
Yeah, so Pepe literally is replicating this move identical. It went from 13 bill, now it's at a little over 4 billion. So percentage wise, the exact same move, literally the market cap size, exact same move
Isn't
that
that
Dogecoin
interesting?
pulled last cycle. And then when did it start pumping?
Look at this. Oh, Bomba Clut. That didn't exist. I gotta do it like
um,
this. Yeah, go ahead.
oh, on the side by side.
Yeah, like this. Watch
Uh,
this shit. They're gonna fucking love this. We just cracked the code right here, bees. Look at this. The pullback on Pepe. Give me my stun of 4. There we go. The pullback on Pepe and market cap from the high. 60%. Similar. We could do it from like right here. 68%, a little bit more. But yeah, Doge just did the same thing last cycle. Big
yeah, and it's
pullback.
like that, and it's like that looks like a wider time frame on the bottom, but that's
Right.
also
You're right. So this one we want to do it on weekly. Yep. Look at that. Same idea.
yeah, so we can't zoom out quite as much just because the wicks on Doge are fucking huge.
Right.
But yeah, so I mean, it was the exact same size. Well, it's a little bit bigger than Dogecoin was heading into this year because it got listed to Coinbase. Pumps up to 13 bill, same exact level that Dogecoin pumped up to, pulls back 60% to 4 billion, 5 billion, same thing that Pepe or same thing that Doge did last cycle. And then once it gets into March, February, March, it's just ranging sideways. So people that are in Doge are just like, what the hell? What the hell's going on? This thing's just going sideways. You know, it's just bled 60% slowly but surely is kind of recovering, just kind of trending up a little bit, but ranging sideways. And then gets into April and then what
Boom.
goes to 90 billion
197 billion was the Pico top.
over the course of a month.
Yep. 1 month.
So
Yeah, it's gonna happen on Pepe. People are going to get caught with their fucking pants on the ground. That's literally the same time frame. Insane. Look at this. And then right before it, I just really need to point this out. Doge in December, right? December of 2020. That's confluent with December of 2024. We just came into 2025, which is the last year of the bull run typically in these cycles. So this would have been last month. It was $500 million market cap. 500 million. Think about that. Doge within months went from 500 million to 90 billion, 98 billion. I don't even know how many X's that is. 10X would have been, that's over 100X.
yeah, it's like 180, 190x.
And people thought it was over for Doge. It did 180X from a $500 million market cap. So we don't think Pepe can't survive. And look, Doge did the same thing. We pump up here in, whoops, what was the time frame? This was, look at this, beginning of February. We die, beginning of February, right here. No, this beginning of February was right here. But we started dying in December, so we started dying earlier. But we get this effect where we die. We come down 62%. We came down 68% here. So about the same percent difference. Well, let's do it from the high. So 69%.
And if you look at the chart too, it's like it wasn't performing well in December either, but I think that's when it got listed to Coinbase.
Right. And then it had that pump.
Yeah, so I think that's the only reason it performed well there. The timeline on the Coinbase listing was just different. But yeah.
Exactly. And then we draw down, we range for a little bit. Boom. Fucking Valhalla. on Doge and you become rich. You're a fucking multimillionaire. So what do we think happens with Pepe, the Doge coin of this cycle? Probably do this for like throughout March while ETH continues to build back. And we fucking go off the screen. Bang. It's going to happen. Fucking gentlemen, fucking position yourselves, because just as quickly as you thought it was over, we're so fucking back. So, I mean, I think that's a good place to leave it right there for them. We just gave them the fucking alpha. Are you kidding me?
That was juicy.
That was fucking juice right there. That was good stuff, gentlemen. Well, like, comment, subscribe. We're literally giving you the plays live on stream, things that nobody else is going to show you, analysis that nobody else is going to give you, actually showing you guys how to make money in these markets. If you're not already a part of the Taylor's Code, the link is in the properly paid YouTube channel's bio. So go to the actual channel page. This stream, because Streamlabs exploded, doesn't have the correct description that we typically have. We typically have the link in the description. But join the Taylor's Code. Inside, that's wherever we give our actual positioning. When we're buying, when we're accumulating, when we're selling, when we're taking profits, what assets that we're accumulating before we even talk about them on YouTube, to get the actual individual attention from myself, Logan, and all the other gentlemen that we invest with. Join the Taylor's Code. I'm telling you, if you think you're an investor and you're willing to invest $200-$300 in on shitcoin in Solana for a chance to hit a lottery ticket win, like if you think that's investing and you don't have the confidence to invest a few dollars a month to join a network of individuals that are going to show you how to actually make money in these markets, you're not an investor. Because that money that you put in to being a part of the organization will make you thousands upon thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars, depending on your portfolio size, will end up making you that money in the long run, because you actually know what's going on in the markets. You're investing with the correct people. And if you're an investor, we'll see you inside the Taylor's Code. Okay. Outside of that, let me fucking stop the screen share. Hit him with the
Start calling my Phantom at the Portfolio.
the portfolio. All right, Mr. Producer, let's get. Yeah, we got to get out of here. So let me do a little Mr. Producer, and then you know what the heck.
Good night.
Good night, gentlemen. That's a little
Good
bit
night.
weird. I'm not gonna ever say that again.
Can't add gentlemen to it.
Nah, yeah. Good nights. Good. I don't even know. That's fucked.